This mod, we're going from this to this. This is an Oxygenics, and what it does is it infuses the water stream from the pump or outside source with air and makes it feel stronger, and it does save a little bit of water usage as well through restriction. So this is it, and I will install that. Let's turn on the pump and see what kind of water we got with the old one. Makes noise, it's pressurized, so it automatically cuts off. And I'm going to pull this over and aim that over there, and we will turn on the left side cold. Alright, that is the old shower head, and I'll keep that. To put back on it when I sell it. That's a loud pump. I'm going to have to do something about that pump. Okay, this is the Oxygenics system pulled out of the bag. And what I've got here is about the one with the swivel mount that can be moved to different locations for different heights. The wife and I are different heights. This also has a connection that has an on-off where you can stop the water flow but still keep the water temperature where you want it, which is, I think, pretty cool. A new hose that looks a little bit different than the old hose that came in the fifth wheel, and these all match, so I'll put all these together. But what it doesn't have is the bracket that goes over this particular hose, so I'll keep that from the other one. All I think I will have to use to do this mod is a Phillips head and a crescent wrench. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a crescent wrench here and take that off. Okay, it's off. It was barely tighter than finger tight. Probably could even got it off with finger tight. And this was through this strap. I just pulled it out through there, and then water came draining down from when I just showed you how I operated it. And I like this hose pretty good. It's already, a lot of times when you buy these things, they're kinked, you know, because they're fresh out of a package and they're just kind of twisted. So if this one's closely to the same color as the old one, we might end up keeping it. Well, if it fits up here as well. Anyway, we'll take a look at it. So I'll pull this off and dispose of the old one, and then from there I have two Phillips head screws to pull off this old holder. Okay, side by side, which one do you think looks better? This is Oxygenics head, and these are the two hoses available to me, and either one of them will work. I've tried them on the end of the Oxygenics. Well, I've decided which one I'm going with, and I'm going with the one closest to the Oxygenics head. I think it's a better color match. It doesn't look as cheap, and it doesn't have that plastic looking thing on it on the outside. Now if you move it away, you can tell which one was the one that was in the shower and which one's the new one out of the package, because the new one out of the package is all crinkled, and that is not the one I'm going to use. So let me hook it up. On the Oxygenics hose that came in the package, there were two washers that were tied there, and you can see they were the thinner ones, and what came out, actually they were the thicker ones, and the ones that came out of the Grand Design standard model were thinner. And what I found by trying both of them both ways was that the thicker one works best with the connection here head. It secures down nicely. I think the thinner one's just a little bit too thin and a potential for a leak. But on the end here, you have to use the one that came with it, because that was wanted. It's a little thinner, which allows you to tighten this down a little further. So for this end, use the one that came with it, and the one on the other end, use the one that came with Oxygenics. Alright, I hooked the end of it into the little connector that came with it. This is the off-on switch. And to be fair, the other one had one on the shower head itself up there. I then routed it through here and hooked it back up here. Now I could use the existing mount if I didn't want, you know, to fiddle with, you know, potentially messing up the shower, or just liked it the way where it is right now. But I don't. I want the ability to move the shower head around. So I'm going to take this out and work on that. Okay. Old bracket with screws, new bracket with screws. Notice the difference in screws? I do not want to put something this long into a place where something only this long was previously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse these shorter screws. And the new bracket has got two mounting holes, one here, and then you have to take this piece off. And it's got a movable ball that when you tighten it down here, it makes this stationary. But the second mounting hole is there. So I'm going to mount it and show you what I ended up doing. Alright, I want this new bracket to cover up any holes. The second hole for the old bracket was about right in here. And so this covers it up. So what I did was I mounted the bottom one. There's a little line in this mount that lines perfectly with this. Then I marked a hole. I marked it with the Sharpie where the next hole is going to be drilled. Okay, you can see where the second hole was. And this is my mark right on the line, so that's perfectly aligned. And so now I want to drill it, so I'm not trying to tap fresh plastic and wood, but it needs to be a really small drill bit, so that there's plenty of material for the screw to bite. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that for you right here. And the drill bit is set pretty far back into the drill socket. And that's all it should take right there. Alright, this bad boy's done, and that mount is very secure. It grabbed wood very nicely, very, very secure. Alright, I left this a little bit loose so you can see the range of motion. Ooh, that gets up high. And then down to almost straight down. Can move this way, which is a good thing. Now, let's see how that bad boy operates, okay? See it coming out there. Feels a lot stronger. Use the cutoff switch there. It doesn't cut it completely off. Puts it way down though. I don't like that it doesn't cut it completely off. Anyway, let's turn that off. And that completes the install of the Oxygenics shower head replacement mod. Brent signing off.